Hi guys, it's Erin from Ginger's Florals. Today we're going to try and make the best out of a sort of bummer situation. So if you were with me a few weeks ago, we direct sewed a whole bunch of zinnias and cosmos up and down this row, and the next one actually at the end. But as you can see, only a few came up and stayed up, and none of the, well, a couple cosmos in the other row, but mostly it's just weeds that have started to take over. These are healthy looking cosmos, or zinnias, but that's about it. But because we ended up with all this space unused, I'm gonna fill it. We have all these seedlings. These are the Crane series of flowering kale. I'll put some pictures up from the Johnny's website of what they look like when they're grown up. But the goal with these is to have a focal flower in quotes, in the late, well, early fall, really. They're gonna take a while to get up and going, and then they should, if my timing isn't completely off, they should be at a good size to be able to use them in bouquets in early October. Our farmers market here goes through to the early part of October, the mid part of October actually. I think the 20th might be the last one. And by then, most everything out here is done. Like it's too cold, it's too rainy, it doesn't want to be, it just wants to be done for the season. So these kale give me an opportunity to be able to have and still have that focal flower. Now, it's not actually the flower of the plant that we're going to use. If you've ever seen broccoli or kale go to seed, or even the sweet rocket that I grow, the flowers for a brassica like these are little tiny, pretty little flowers, but they're on long skinny spikes, not exactly a focal flower. But these, the kale itself is the flower. It grows in such a way that it sort of creates a floret shape as it gets taller. And then when it starts to get cool, like it will by the end of September here, the colors of the plant get very vibrant. And if I follow the right directions and the timing is good, they should be 12, well, probably 18 inches tall. And I start at about 12 inches, I should say. At about 12 inches tall, I should start stripping the lower leaves of it, and it creates this perfect little floret at the top. And then if my timing isn't completely off, which I can't guarantee that, we should have lots of beautiful stems right at about the time that I need them. So that's the goal. And today, because I wound up with all this extra space that I can't use because the birds went for it, and I knew better, I shouldn't have direct sewn. I've said it before, and then I decided I'd give it a go. It should be easy. Maybe if I had covered everything with some kind of fabric until they emerged, I might have gotten a better result, but I didn't. So here we are. I have a 40-foot row and probably 15 feet on the end of the next row, and should be plenty of room for these kale. So I grow them, I'm growing them at, this is 9-inch spacing all the way down. And that should be good. That should be a good spacing to not let them get too big. Kale, most kales, it's kind of like a sunflower. The more room you give it, the bigger it'll get. These, I want them to stay relatively small so that they're usable in an arrangement. So yeah, that's the plan for today. I'm gonna set up and get these all in the ground. There's 3 varieties. There's a white, crane pink, and crane red. Like I said, I'll put the pictures up so you can see the colors. They really are beautiful at that time of year when I don't have anything else. So I'm gonna get these in the ground. I'll take you along with me, and then we'll take a look when it's all done. All right, guys, we got that part done. All of the kale, for the most part, is down here in this one row. They all are going to be much happier than they have been. I did save a few here to take up front and put in the front garden. I'll show you what that looks like. We had a couple that that John planted late last year that are still there. So I'll show you what they look like. And then I just spread bug and slug killer because I don't know if you can tell, probably not, but there's some little lines. You see right there, that line that goes, you see right here, this line that goes right here? That is a slug trail. And I don't want to lose all these sweet little seedlings to a slug. I did see one even. I had to toss it over the fence that was heading its way towards the garden. So even in the hot, dry part of the summer, we deal with slugs, especially since the field here is irrigated. There's plenty of moisture for them, so they hide out, and I just don't want to kill them. I do need to get also some rabbit repellent. Turns out that all the work that we've done to secure this whole area from the rabbits, put chicken wire around the whole fence. If you can see here, there's chicken wire around the whole field and around the chicken run, but the rabbits have managed to get in. I saw some rabbit pellets around the garden while I was planting. So I need to get some liquid fence. It's a spray that you can spray on your plants that the deer and the rabbit really don't like. It's worked for me in the past, and I'm gonna get some of that. Well, I think this winter one of the projects we have is to figure out how to fortify this whole area from the rabbits. I'm less concerned about the deer because my dog Winston, he tends to keep them at bay, but so I need to get some liquid fence just because I'm more concerned about the rabbits. The deer stay kind of at bay because my dog Winston, he likes to chase them off, so they don't come around near as often. But the rabbits, they come at night, and they will definitely come into the garden. I had a good number of veggie gardens over the years succumb to rabbits chewing away at all the little seedlings. So that's the other part that I need to take care of. But right now we've got the bug and slug killer to try and deter the slugs in here, and then I'll order some liquid fence for the rabbits. Okay, now I'm going to take these the last seedlings up front, and I'll show you what some flowering kale looks like when it's trying to bolt. Okay, we're up here at the front garden, and I wanted to show you what this kale looks like. So these three, well, there's two here, and there's another little bunch over there that I had intended last year to do the same thing that I just did, and I never got around to it. So I had some seedlings left over that miraculously had survived, and John decided that sometime, it must have been October or November, that he put them in the ground out here, and they survived beautifully throughout the winter, and they looked great up until it turned to the mid-80s and stayed that way, and now they've bolted. So you can see what I mean by the actual flowers of the plant. That's what this is. It's bolting. It's trying to flower and go to seed so that it can reproduce. This is not what you want it to look like, and I'm going to cut these out today because I want to plant the leftovers that I had from the field right around in the same spot. I'll put 4 or 5 here, and then over here you can see the others. I'll put I might put them here or here, back where these were, but you can see this is sort of the view when these are growing out there. This is the red variety, and if I left it here until it cooled off into the 50s or low 60s into the 50s, this This would turn a bright pink, well, a dark pink, purplish color. But this is kind of the view of what the bloom, quote unquote, will look like in the bouquet, which is, I think, very beautiful. It'll look really cool in a fall bouquet. So I just wanted to show you what those look like. I'm gonna cut these down because they're, like I said, they're bolting. They're no longer doing what I want them to do. So I'm gonna put these other seedlings in the ground in their place, and then hopefully we'll have beautiful, beautiful looking kale all throughout the winter. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video. We got all the kale out back planted. We got the kale up here planted. We took out the kale from last year. This is gonna be a fun experiment for me. I do a lot of that, if you haven't noticed yet. But this year, I'm hoping that we got the timing right. We got them in the ground, make the most of the space where the zinnias didn't work out. And hopefully we'll have beautiful focal flowers for fall bouquets. Okay, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you have a comment, you have experience with these, I would love to hear from you. And if you haven't subscribed already, I encourage you to consider it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.